Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Darth Tyrax Presents. I'm Darth Tyrax. It's been over a year since we have had a new episode, and hopefully this will now get us back on the road of maybe doing one every month. This episode, I'm presenting something I've sort of presented before, because I think I've done Battletech Alpha Strike before. But in this case, I'm doing an unboxing of the box set. So as you can see, it's a fair size box. And it's a great beginner thing for everyone to use. So I'm going to remove a few things here so they don't fall around, because I've already opened this. For starters, you get a bunch of mechs. It's actually a nice, really good starter. As you can see, you get a whole bunch of mechs there. And they're actually really quite well done. Let me pull out a couple here to show you. And yeah, we'll do that one as well. Put that over there. So if you take a look, here we go. It's not going to focus too well there. But if you see, they're actually quite detailed and well done. This is the Wraith. Here's a classic redone. A lot of these designs were redone for, they used the MechWarrior Online as the basis of how they would do it. Like, this is a nice classic Warhammer, as you can see there, the big guns, launchers on top. And yeah, it's hard to say, obviously, with the camera, but they are actually really well done. And of course, you can't forget the clans. So here's a Clan Nova battle mech. Drop that. My bad. These are all the more common variants that are used, obviously. They are all based on a hex base, which means you can also use them on hex maps, which Alpha Strike will allow you to do. But that means they're also usable for Classic Battletech or Total Warfare, which that part of the game, that version of the game, is meant to be played on hex maps, which obviously is a lot faster than doing some of the other things. But you do get a good variety of mechs. There's 13 total, 8 Inner Sphere mechs, 5 clan, so 2 lances versus a star, which can be fairly evenly matched. I know the standard game is a company versus a binary, or 3 lances versus 2 stars, 12 versus 10. The point costs and such can actually balance that out significantly. I've played several games with my main opponent. He usually plays Inner Sphere. I usually play clan. And a company versus binary, if you use the same point totals, does work out fairly well. Now, obviously, that's not all that came with the game. They do give you a couple of dice, and you get cards for the mechs. So, show that up there. There's cards for the mechs. Each card gives you 2 variants of the mech, so that you're not always playing the exact same things. So, yeah, there's a Timberwolf. Gives you all the stuff you need. Using a dry erase marker, you can actually use the cards, reuse the cards, because they are fairly well laminated. So there's cards for every mech there to use in Alpha Strike. There's also pilot cards, so that you can have customized pilots for them. Usually, some of them will either just give an ability. I think they all just give an ability. Or do they give skill? I think they give skill as well. But it basically means they have better skill or worse skill, as the case may be. But it gives you some of the special abilities, and that way, again, you're not just playing the generic skill 4 mechs in the game. It gives you a lot more variety that you can change things up just with what's in the box. Now, another thing that comes with it, there's a rules card for it. It's battlefield support rules. So there's things like a light aerospace strike, heavy aerospace strike. Then there's light bombing, heavy bombing, and then there's even different types of artillery. And they give you, basically lets you have some offboard artillery hit the game, or hit the targets or your enemies. And it's all there, just ready to use. You can include it, not include it, whatever you want to do. Now, it also includes a lot of other stuff. So we're going to go through some of that. And if I can dig that all out here. Okay, so one of the first things is a really thick card that has the quick start rules and all the modifiers you need to play the game, so that you know movement does this, what the ranges are, basic building information, which I'll get into again, here shortly, defines the special abilities and everything basically to help you play the game without having to constantly look through the main booklet. Also, there is tokens, objective markers. Then, yeah, there's ground markers as well. And as you can see, blast markers. If you jumped, these are basically to demonstrate the kind of movement your mech did. So it's easier than always having to look at the card for the numbers. And as you can see there's trees, even more trees. And these are actually relatively easily assembled. They just kind of, I already popped one out. They just kind of slide together. And then when you put it beside the mech, they're about right. Because mechs are anywhere from 30 to 50 feet tall, give or take. So you can see the trees are a good size that'll work with the mechs. And it gives you some static terrain that'll come in handy. Now, another one of the things that come in the box are a lot of fold-up buildings. So it comes with 15 total buildings. I think it's 15. Just double check here for you. Yeah, so 15 total folding up buildings of various sizes and heights. They're easy to assemble. As you can see, there's some more there and some even bigger ones here. They're fairly easy to assemble, honestly. They're all tab into a slot setup. And I'll even do one here. So as you can see, you just kind of bend those. And then just bend. This is one I already did. So they're easily bent. They're a nice thick card. So you just fold it up and you insert the slots accordingly, as soon as I can find them, because I'm a genius apparently. Well, one slips out on me there. All right, let's. It was easier the first time, go figure. But anyway, yeah, so they do go together fairly easily as soon as you can get the slots to work, which I'm apparently having difficulty with. And then, yeah, you fold those flaps down, and there you go. And then again, you stand it next to the mech. It looks like it's about the right size, as it should be. So it gives you 15 different size buildings. It gives you the trees, tokens and movement markers, and lots of mechs, obviously. So really, physically speaking, you get a lot of stuff with this. And it'll let you, the only thing you're missing are the dry erase markers, really, and a measuring tape, because you do have to measure in inches for ranges and such like that. Now, on top of that, there's a few print materials. One, it comes with a short story. I haven't read it yet, but it's about 20 pages, 24 pages long. So there's a short story, which is always nice because it gives you a feel for the setting. There's this, if I can keep my hands on it. There's this, which is a primer. And really what it is it talks about the eras. It has the different eras like the Star League, Succession Wars, Civil War, Clan Invasion, so on and so forth. It gives a map 3151, which 3151, yeah, 3151, which is as far as the timeline has gone. So shows you all the different factions there. Talks about the different great houses, Davian and Kurita, Brain Cramp, and Merrick, Lau, Mercenaries, and it goes into some of the clans that are in the Inner Sphere. So again, this really helps get you to understand who the different factions are and whatnot. And then lastly, we have the Quick Start Rulebook. And in here, it goes through and tells you everything you need to know to play. Obviously, these are quick start rules, so they're fairly straightforward, very simple. If you want full rules, you would have to get the Alpha Strike Commander's Edition rulebook. That includes things for vehicles and aerospace and infantry and a lot more special abilities and all that stuff. But by and large, like I said, you get the short story, setting primer, quick start rules. You get all the tokens reference sheet, trees, as soon as it falls apart on me here. And then again, all the different buildings and such. And they're actually really sturdy. I use a lot of cardstock for Battletech just because it's simple to get. You can go to your local Staples or Business Depot or anywhere that you can get stuff printed. Print shops, university print shops do that too, usually, and they're generally fairly affordable. But overall, the game, you get a whole lot of stuff with it. As I said, you get all the mechs, you get everything you really need. Most people have a measuring tape in the house. Any dollar store, you can get a dry erase finer tip dry erase marker and use that on the cards. I would suggest photocopy the cards. There's also a website, which I'll put in the description, called Master Unit List, which will let you look up more variants of these mechs, so you can actually use a slew of different variants of the mechs. And if you get more mechs, that's actually a really good place to go because it lists everything: aerospace fighters, drop ships, vehicles, infantry, battle armor, everything's there. And it does have a decent force builder too. So that's the unboxing. There's a lot there. And frankly, at the price point, here in Canada, it's basically $90 all in, taxes and everything. That's an incredible price for this kind of a box. If I recall correctly, most of the Lance or Star boxes, which is 4 or 5 mechs in a box, they're running $40 to $50. It could be higher, but last I saw, I think it was 40 to 50. And that's for 4 or 5 mechs. You're getting 13 for 90, plus the buildings, plus the other stuff. So it's an amazing value for what you get in the box. And I can't speak any more highly of it. I love the game. It's fun. It's fairly fast paced. You can do a fairly large battle with 20 plus mechs on the table, and you're done in 90 minutes or less. Now, there's ways to drag that out, going full rules, but with quick start rules, essentially, yeah, you're going to probably be an hour and a half, not even, maybe an hour with these mechs because it's only 8 versus 5. But overall, it's an awesome product. The design on the mechs, the quality is really good. The buildings are good. They're nicely printed, sturdy. All you'd need is like a green tablecloth and maybe cut some cardboard or construction paper for roads or something if you want to set it up like a town. Throw a couple of books under it. You got some hills and you're good to go. That's the great thing about it. It is pretty much everything you really need's in the box, and some stuff around the house will let you dress up a table that'll look actually pretty good. But overall, yeah, it's a great product. It's a hefty box, sturdy box. The box really works well for storage. I've got all my Battletech boxes from even 30 years ago, and there's a variety of maps and counters and all kinds of stuff in them. But again, overall, awesome product. Very worthwhile. It's just such a great value. And if you can't afford it, it's an easy game to get into. It's a fairly easy game to play once you get the hang of it. And even learning it doesn't take much. And then expanding with the longer, the full rule set and stuff will work really well too. So that's this episode. Again, I'm no professional, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. And like I said, I will put that website in there for you, so you can go check out even more variants of these mechs if you do pick this up. But as they say, that's it. We'll talk to you next time. Cheers.